Canwell here, and welcome to another video. In this video, I want to talk about retroactive jealousy. So let me tell you a story about a guy I know. I'm going to go back a couple of years, and this is a friend of mine who I remember very clearly was dealing with a case of retroactive jealousy. Retroactive jealousy is where you are jealous of your partner's ex. My friend was jealous of his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend I also happen to know. And I remember my friend coming to me and him saying to me, look, I don't get it. I don't understand. Ever since we started dating, she keeps talking about her ex. She's got photos of her ex on her phone. She refuses to delete photos of her ex from Instagram because she says that's part of her life. And she doesn't want to delete part of her life. She doesn't want to discredit the memories from her past, even though she doesn't like her ex anymore, even though she's not with her ex anymore. I'm not going to delete those photos because that's part of my life. And so this guy is getting really upset about this. He's getting worked up. And I remember sitting with this guy and him telling me this because he was so frustrated by the presence of the ex-boyfriend. And then it got worse. I remember a couple of weeks later, my friend told me, look, I tried to do this with Rachel, and she refused to do this thing sexually with me. There's a lot of sexual stuff that she's already done with Stuart, who was the ex. There's a lot of sexual stuff that she's already done with him that she won't do with me. Now, this guy wasn't asking for the world. There was a lot of stuff that he was asking for from Rachel that was pretty standard stuff. I want to try this position. No, I'm not going to do that. He wasn't even asking for anything freaky. It was pretty normal stuff, but she said, no, I'm not going to do that because I've already done that before. And who did she do it with? She did it with her ex. So there's something there which is really triggering him. And I said, look, how did you react? What did you do? And he said, I just hit the wall. I punched the wall, literally, and then slammed the door on my way out, got frustrated, then confronted her in the kitchen and said, why won't you do this stuff with me, but you'll do all this stuff with your ex? He even broke down crying in frustration, which is never a good look. And so when you do this, when you have this retroactive jealousy, what you end up doing is you end up pushing your partner away. And all the stuff you want, all the sexual stuff you want, you're not going to get it. All the photos you want deleted, they're not going to be deleted because you want it. It's like happiness. If you want happiness, if you're desperate for happiness, you're not going to get it. It's the same with men who are desperate for love. Men and women who are desperate for love, they don't get it. They don't get love. It's the people who don't want it, who don't seek it. Those are the ones who get love. Now, you can imagine how frustrating it must be if you know that your partner's done things with another man that she won't do with you. Why? Why is she doing this stuff with another man and she won't do it with me? There's two reasons. The first is because she's really into the ex more than she's into you. And that's because of the way you're showing up, which leads on to the second reason. It's because you want it too much. She can sense it. You want her too much. You're too jealous. You're too possessive. You're too insecure and emotionally unstable, which brings in a lot of feminine energy, which is not masculine energy. And this is a turn off to her. So she shuts you down. She doesn't want to do anything with you. And so your feelings of retroactive jealousy are going to become worse. Now, to get into the topic of retroactive jealousy, what is retroactive jealousy? That's where you're jealous of your partner's ex. It's also called Rebecca syndrome from that old classic movie where the woman is obsessed with Rebecca, her husband's ex-wife, I believe it is. You could also call this Chad syndrome, where a man is obsessed with his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend or his wife's ex-husband or ex-boyfriend. Chad is in the background, this guy who she's always talking about or she's got photos of or she's done things with, which really trigger you. Now, it's a problem, and it's a problem that you need to address. It's something that affects a lot of people. 60% of people are affected by retroactive jealousy. That's a lot of people. But if you feel jealous, if you have retroactive jealousy, what's the best way to deal with it? Understand that as a man, jealousy makes you look weak. It makes you look insecure. It makes you look like you're desperate. And anything that you desire will not be given to you because the woman thinks you don't deserve it. I'm not going to give this to you because you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to have the memories of us together and the photos like I gave my ex. You can overcome that. You can eradicate the memories of the ex by becoming more masculine, by becoming more confident, by becoming more strong, by becoming more certain and bold in your energy and not caring and becoming indifferent to whatever she throws at you. She's going to test you. When a woman knows that you have retroactive jealousy, she's going to throw it in your face. Oh, I did this with my ex, but I'm not going to do it with you. Oh, I went here with my ex, but I don't need to go there with you. I ate this meal with my ex, but I don't need to eat it with you. All these little things are going to bother you, and you have to remain unaffected. When you start to remain unaffected, she starts to focus on you. She starts to see you as a higher value man, which I talk about in my book, Atomic Attraction, which is based on over 120 scientific studies and 40 real life case studies. And in this book, you will see what you need to do to raise your value. And when you raise your value, she becomes more focused on you. And the more she focuses on you and the more she starts to respect you, the less value she gives to her ex-partners, the less she talks about them. She starts deleting them from social media. She starts doing things with you that she wouldn't do with her ex even. But if a woman's focus is on her ex, it's telling you one very important thing. You are showing up the wrong way, and she's not turned on by you, and she's not attracted to you. So you have to change your behavior to change her behavior.